Hey there, folks. Danny from the Small Venue Survivalist here with you again. And today, it's story time with Danny. And the story is about a gig. It was a private show that I did with a really excellent Grateful Dead tribute band called Moki. Moki is a great group of guys that have really, built this following on doing great interpretations of Dead tunes. And the thing is that in my teenage years, I really did not get the Grateful Dead at all. I thought they were pretty lame. But later on in life, I ended up doing shows, and Moki came along, and other people as well. Folks like Stonefed and Talia Keys, Gorgeous Gourds. But the thing is that they played jam band music, and then of course Moki played Grateful Dead music specifically. And when I heard it live, I suddenly got it. And when I saw people dance and have these expressions of joy and just incredible enjoyment of the music, it started to click for me, and I started to enjoy it myself. And so it's the beautiful thing about music and working with live bands is you get introduced and reintroduced to things that you might not otherwise be into, and you get a chance to really catch a piece of that love for things that other people have. So it's a great privilege. But anyway, so the story of this gig. It was in a certain way a little bit somber, because the show was actually for a memorial for a young man who passed away before his time, and apparently either never got to see Moki or didn't get to see them at the premier venue for them around here, which is the State Room. And so Moki was brought on to do this memorial, and originally it was supposed to take place outside. We got there and started getting gear out of the vehicles, and we realized that it was a little cool and a little windy, and we started worrying if anybody would want to come out outside and take in the music, and maybe it would be tough technically. And so the decision was made to move the performance indoors. And this actually brought a bunch of logistical challenges, because the indoor space was packed with friends, family, neighbors, well-wishers, all these folks who knew this young man and wanted to be there at the memorial. And that meant that there was really no room to work. We had to take the gear up a set of back stairs and just kind of pile it where we could and try to move it around, this giant throng of people in this room. And ultimately, what this meant was that we couldn't set up, we couldn't sound check, not in advance anyway. We would just have to throw and go when the moment arrived. And so the moment did finally arrive when the sort of memorial program was over, and then it was our turn. And so as fast as we could, we set up a couple of monitor boxes and ran some vocal microphones, mic'd nothing, didn't put the keys in the PA at all, just went for it with vocals only, and really no sound check. I mean, we've ascertained that we had some material coming out of the monitors. It's like, do all the mics work? All 4 or 5 of them or whatever. Yeah, we got it. Okay, off we go. And we got a few songs in, and I noticed something. And it was hard to notice because the way we were set up was such that I had one side of the PA, I had a front of house PA speaker blasting pretty much directly into my left ear. And so I couldn't really tell what the other side of the PA was doing. And the thing was that the other side of the PA wasn't doing anything, because we forgot to turn the power on to that side. Oops. Well, there we were. We had half a PA rolling. We had a band that we normally would do a fair bit of production for. I mean, mic everything and all that, and we were vocals only. Certain guitar solos or other elements would get a little buried in the mix. But here's the thing. Where the console was, right? I mean, I was essentially in the same place as the band, and so I could look to one side and see the band, and I could look to the other side and see the people in the room. And when I looked at the people in the room, I saw joy. People were incredibly appreciative of what was going on, and there were people up front dancing, full throttle, as only deadheads can. And it was at that moment that I just thought, you know what? I just need to leave this alone. Because, for as loud as it was for me against that PA speaker on the right side, there were people really close to the left side speaker too, and it would probably have melted their faces a little bit and made it hard for the bar to work and all that jazz. And so I just sort of took it as a serendipitous thing that only half the PA was running. And when it was all over, people came up to the band and expressed how happy they were that they had played. And Moki makes new friends everywhere, no matter what, it seems. And people loved him with vocals only and half a PA. Sometimes just perfect enough is just perfect. And I'm not saying at all, as audio humans, that we should do things halfway, or that we shouldn't try to raise the bar, or that we shouldn't check our gear and try to get all our ducks in a row. I'm not saying that. I think we should. But sometimes you get into a situation where it's really imperfect and things didn't go the way you expected. But people are still making that emotional connection with the music anyway. And that's okay. We can just kind of, take our hands off the wheel for a minute and enjoy. But now that I've used that metaphor, please, when you're driving your car, don't take your hands off the wheel. Okay, it's safety first. I mean, right? It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. Okay, we're good. We're good with that. Don't do unsafe things. Anyway, the point is, sometimes just perfect enough is actually perfect, like I said. So, catch you later.